Okay, right then. So setup wise on this right hand one now, we can see a bit more of that line we're trying to get. Okay, so a bit more now. It feels to you when you're stood there like your head is somewhere over here, your hands are somewhere over here, and you're like, how am I going to get back to that golf ball? Okay, but from a face-on perspective now, that setup looks so much more neater and tidier for me. And it just gives yourself a chance now for that club to work on a nice sort of in path towards the golf ball. When your shoulders were getting a bit left or your hands are back here, if you bring your hands back here and the ball goes forward, you tend to just turn your body in there. So the turning of your shoulders this way kind of moves your hands, but it all kind of like sinks in together, yeah? So getting the hands forward, getting the shoulders more in line is going to help you with, again, a good rotation. Really, really good back action there. Hands are nice and high, back to target. From here now, it's moving your left hip towards that green line from inside your left foot. Yeah, okay, yeah, see, it's moved. Yeah, it's moved. Yeah, exactly. You're almost like worried about is it going to go? I said, yeah. You can hear you're like, oh no, what's he going to show me now? No, it's working really well. Yeah, so you've moved the hips nicely there. Okay, there's a little bit of a as you start moving there now. This is good. Then there's a bit of a drop with the head slightly, but not too bad. It's not as much as it used to be. It's certainly a lot better. A little bit of a drop is obviously allowed to a point, but the hips moving nicely there. Now, so when you come back into impact, there's your sort of strike point. Really, really good. I mean, if you think about sort of. There's kind of your trail arm. Yeah. There's roughly the club head. And there's your left side in that reverse K they talk about, yeah?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so decent spot there, okay? And then as you rotate through to target, that's all been very good, to be fair, sort of swinging onto your left side there nicely. Okay. A couple of times you lost a bit of balance going forward there where you kind of, your back here, sort of felt like you're reaching for the ball or whatever. But I think the tendencies you have, hands get behind the ball and a bit too far away from you. Okay. I want to see your hands a bit more kind of here because now I can hit that hard. If you're out here and stretching, you tend to reach for the ball. Your shoulders aim left. Any stretch at setup restricts body movement. The hands being back behind this side now is going to restrict body movement again. All these different things are going to make it just difficult to get back to the golf ball successfully. And then you're always kind of like adjusting from club to club. Heads wide, some go left, some go right, some go straight, some go good. And I think we saw that with the irons when you kind of got your iron 7. I know the first couple weren't great, but once you kind of found your sort of your rhythm with it, your 7 iron was kind of setting up with your hand on it because you knew the shaft should be forward. So you put your hands forward to give the shaft lean. With the drive and the first. I won't move the ball any further forward or any further back. That's in a pretty good spot. It's just popping the hands forward a smidgen just to get your lead arm on the club. Again, it's not miles out, but you can see. You can see. I mean, I don't know whether I'm clever enough to do it on here now with this sort of line protractor and stuff. But if we go from there to there, so. Well, it's 180. It's a pretty straight line. Okay, you're probably, if I'm being critical, there. So 4 degrees off centre. Whereas this one, that's roughly there. That's your hands there. Yeah, roughly. So it's 5 degrees different. Yeah, feels like 55 degrees, doesn't it? That's the trouble.
Yeah, it does. But 5 degrees over that distance, if you worked on that
massive,
sort of
yeah, exactly. It's a dispersion. Yeah, dispersion. Yeah, exactly. I knew it. All right, but yeah, that's that again. So but you can see the difference again when you look at it. It's like, it's only 5 degrees. What's that? Nothing. But when you stand over that golf ball, you feel massively different. Yeah, and that's the problem in golfers making. You imagine if I said to you, "Let's go a little bit more," then you'd be like, "I can't go any further." So at the moment you've moved in a decent enough position. Okay, you're in the right spot. Your head's nicely behind the ball. You correctly pointed out your hands, your head are bookending the golf ball, sort of things we like to see it sort of set up. The key thing is getting the shoulders in a sort of straighter line, okay? I mean, just as you're in a similar kind of part of the mat there, we would say, but just look at your shadow across your sort of arm there. Look at the shadow across your arm there. You're more this way, your shoulders, so the shadows change position on your body. So if I'm here now and I turn this way, the shadow's going to be more covering on that right arm. So there is movement there that's not a lot. If we just said, okay, right, look at these 2 setups here now without any arm drawings or any pictures, so take a snapshot, it wouldn't sort of stand out like a sore thumb. Oh yeah, well you can definitely see on this one. But there is a change there.
Yeah, there definitely
and that's the thing. It's only going to be subtle, but we've got to get used to it. I think
usually like the line sort of so much closer to my knee, really.
Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, you could pick out lots of little differences, can't you? Like they said, the club is nearer that knee there, as you say. So it's nearer there. The hand's a bit further over. Okay, the shadow's a bit different there. Okay, the handle, the club are more in line, but it's not as if it's like a massively sort of. If you showed that to someone who's a non-golfer or someone maybe not even looking at, they'd be like,
well, just like one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'd be trying to look sort of all the tiles a bit different. It's all very similar. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just getting a little bit again, just tidying up that setup. The problem is when things are going left and right and high and low and different, generally speaking, setup is different. So setup is wrong, and you're reacting to a longer or a shorter club in different ways. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
As a guy, not always the
Okay,
case.
no, okay.
But I think what you've probably found is that when the club's a lot longer, when your hands are behind the ball, you've got to try and miss the ground. So you're trying to create some space, which can cause you to lift up a bit, move your
Okay.
arms here. 3 with right, 5 with left, 7 out. There's lots of variety, yeah?
Okay,
So
cool.
just tidy up that setup, okay? Right, let's have a couple more then and see if we can get that. Just now you've seen how much it
Yeah.
isn't as far off as you think. I think when you sort of make that adjustment initially, you go, oh my God, how am I going to get back to the golf ball? But when you look at that one on the right-hand side, you go, yeah, quite easily, yeah? Because you can see yourself now over the ball in a position that's going to make it easier to hit the golf ball, okay? So good setup there. Hands are slightly more in front. Yeah. And then normal swing now with the swing of the club.